uncut and unscripted. Well, a horseshoeing just recently officially aired here in the US. The premise of the episode is since Twilight is going to be ascending along with her friends as ruler and co-rulers of Equestria, that she needs some pony to step in and take over for her as the head mare. Thus enters Starlight, who has basically sat in for her anytime she's had to go off on a mission to save Equestria or had other errands to take care of. So yes, Starlight ends up getting the position of head mare, or in other words, is chosen by Twilight to take over. However, through some character development, which may surprise some people, Starlight realizes she won't be able to do this job alone. So she goes on a mission to recruit and hire a new vice head mare or stallion to help run the school alongside her. This, of course, is where her BFF, Trixie Lulamoon, comes into play. You see, Trixie, throughout the series, has had this attitude that she's better than any other pony when it comes to certain jobs or occasions. And thus, give her credit, that's a good trait to have, where you believe you're best suited for a certain position, and through that belief, you feel that you're going to probably get it, although in the end, you find out that maybe I'm not so suited for that position, maybe I'm not the best as I thought I was, and maybe the person they're going to choose is going to be more qualified. And that's where Sunburst comes in, because Sunburst, at Trixie's behest, comes in and gets the job as vice head stallion. Trixie, though, doesn't go home empty-handed, as she is rewarded with a job herself. Because, as Starlight pointed out, she, thanks to Gallus letting Starlight know about this, was the only pony or creature that he's known of that's ever stood up to Grandpa Gruff the way she did in defense of Gallus. Secondly, Trixie is the one that suggested bringing in someone that had all the traits needed to help run the school as vice head mare or stallion. And that's where, again, Sunburst came in. Thus, because of these two examples, Trixie ends up taking over Starlight's job as School of Friendship counselor. Yeah, Trixie is a counselor, and these are the two reasons, these two examples that I just gave, are the reasons she got that position. But I know a lot of people are wondering, well, what does this have to do with, what's this got to do with Trixie overall? Well, I know I'm about the 3-minute mark, so I'll get right to the point. You see, Trixie, the reason I bring up all this with this episode is she's had this attitude throughout the series where she's always had the belief, like I said earlier, of being better than any pony or any creature when it comes to certain positions, jobs, or occasions. And because of this belief, she has grown somewhat of a decent reputation to where there are some other countries or lands in Equestria, and some of the royalty there or leaders there are requesting her presence to put on a performance. Thus she's able to travel all around when she does that. Now, here's the thing though about Trixie. Like I said, she has this belief that she's better than any other pony when it comes to certain jobs, positions, occasions, whatever. And the one thing about Trixie that's always been a fault of hers is she doesn't like being upstaged. She doesn't like having the spotlight put on someone else instead of her. Which is why when she gives the winks and all that, especially now hanging out with Starlight, it's basically her way of acknowledging, yeah, you know who's best for this job. You're looking right at her. You shouldn't have to go through these interview processes and da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah, she has that attitude to where basically I should say, she has this position in her life where she feels that no one else is more suited for a certain opportunity than she is. And when she starts noticing that there might be competition, that's when she starts to let maybe a bit of jealousy, a bit of competitiveness come out, and it puts a strain on any kind of friendship she has. I mean, even when she's kind of redeemed herself, not once but twice before Starlight arrived, Trixie basically still has that attitude that she's better than anyone. I mean, she's had the attitude when she first encountered Twilight, had the attitude again when she encountered Twilight and got possessed by that magical item, but then was brought back to her senses, but still maintained a bit of that little rivalry, friendly rivalry with the two before they put that to a close in season 6. So, yeah, even after all that, she still has a bit of that competitiveness, if you will. I mean, even last season, was it last season or this season? No, it was this season, actually, in Student Counselor, where she kind of had a bit of that attitude of, hey, you need to spend more time with me. I'm the best friend, remember. I'm the best friend out of any friends you have kind of deal, until she realizes the mistakes she makes. Same with No Second Prances, where the friendship began and almost broke off and then got refixed, to basically Road to Friendship, where basically that was a big test for them and for Trixie to realize, maybe not having a companion with me on these kind of trips is the best idea. So, yeah, Trixie basically, the reason she acts the way she does, even though she's had her redemption somewhat, is basically because she's one of those individuals, and this is true to real life too, that doesn't like to have the spotlight shine on anybody else but herself, because she has the strong belief that she's better than anyone else. She's better than anyone else when it comes to a certain position or a certain job or occasion or performance or whatever. She has that attitude. I mean, heck, the Equestria Girls version of her has that same, if not similar, attitude as well. The point is, no matter how you feel about Trixie, she has indeed come a long way. Is she fully developed to the point where she won't let the jealousy or the competitiveness of, oh, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that, go away? No, it's still it's still there. She's still going to have that attitude, but she's now going to start realizing, you know what? If I'm going to maintain having friends, I need to kind of mellow out a little bit. I cannot be so boastful when it comes to, what I'm capable of doing. And maybe, as she acknowledges at the end of the episode, maybe she needs to not let her ego get the best of her to where she believes she's the best suited for a certain position when she really isn't. So yeah, the reason Trixie acted the way she did in this episode, and the reason she's acted the way she has in other episodes prior to even Starlight's arrival, is the fact that she has the belief that she's better than anyone else, anyone or any pony else, when it comes to a certain performance, certain job, certain position, certain occasions, you name it. She always has had that belief. And it's a good belief, it is. But sometimes, it's a belief that basically could come bite you in the rear, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's just my take on Trixie's attitude, especially when it came to this episode, Horseshoeing. And it's basically, again, her belief of, hey, I'm best suited for this job. I'm better. I'm the great and powerful Trixie. I'm the best at this. I'm the best at that, no matter what others may have to say to me. And unless I get hit on the head with a freaking anvil to wake me up and make me realize I'm not going to stop believing that. And it's true. And like I said, it's true to real life because, there's some people at my job that look at positions they wanted and then someone else gets it and they're wondering, how did that individual get the job when pretty much I feel I pretty much went through this and that and I'm the more suited one. Perhaps there's a reason. And that reason is, even though you've gone through a lot of the trainings and stuff like that, or you've done a lot of research, whatever, just because you did all that doesn't mean you have maybe the background needed to really be organizing, to really organize certain things, make sure things run smoothly, make sure certain annual or monthly, retrainings and programs and stuff are up to date, and people come and make sure they get the retraining they need to keep up to date. Something like that. So, yeah, it's pretty much very relatable in real life with Trixie's attitude that, hey, I believe I'm the best. I'm good at what I say. I'm the best at what I say I can do. I'm the best at being the vice head mayor, and no one else can say any otherwise. It isn't until, like I said, it comes and bites her in the butt that she realizes, maybe I'm not as good as I say I am, and maybe I shouldn't be so boastful when it comes to a position I shouldn't be applying for. But again, in the end, she ends up getting a job, and that's as counselor, because she's the kind of counselor that won't take any BS from any pony or any creature else when it comes to defending the students or talking to the students. So, yeah, that's just my take on my thoughts on Trixie's attitude when it came to this episode and in past episodes. But let me know what you think. What are your thoughts about Trixie's attitude in the series overall? And what were your thoughts on her attitude in this episode as far as trying to apply to be a vice head mayor? Let me know down below, comment if you like, and I will talk to y'all later.